Hello, my dear students. A very warm welcome to all of you in Shri Jayendra Rank Zone. I am your friend and mentor for the subject Business Economics. In this lecture, we'll continue with Chapter 4, that is price determination in different markets. And in particular, we'll continue with Unit 3 and end of the questions, that is price output determination under different market forms. So let us continue. This is lecture number 8. This is lecture number 8. Let us begin. Let's see the first part. The features of various types of market form are summarized in a given table over here. The features of perfect competition, monopoly, imperfect competition, that is monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. If I talk about the number of firms in perfect competition, large number of sellers or large number of firms are present. In monopoly, only single seller or single firm is present. In monopolistic competition, large number of firms are present. And in oligopoly firms, oligopoly market, a very few firms or very few large firms who shake hand together are present. As far as the nature of product is there, in a perfect competition, the product is homogeneous. In monopoly, it is unique product without close substitutes. So substitutes are not there, close substitutes are not there. In monopolistic competition, differentiated product. But this differentiation is non-price differentiation. And oligopoly, homogeneous or differentiated product are present. The example of monopolistic competition is soap, bathing soap. The price elasticity of demand of a firm. In case of perfect competition, this is infinite. In case of monopoly, it is small. In case of monopolistic competition, it is large. In case of oligopoly, it is small. If I talk about the degree of control over price, in a perfect competition, we don't have control over price. In a monopoly, we have very considerable control over price or full control over price. In imperfect competition, that is monopolistic competition, some control over price, and in oligopoly market we have some control over price. So I believe you must have understood the classification of market forms or different market forms. Let us continue and begin with the perfect competition now. A market is said to be perfectly competitive. It has large number of buyers and large number of sellers, and they are selling which kind of product? Homogeneous product. The entry and exit is free. Perfect mobility of factor prevails. Perfect knowledge about the market is there. Insignificant transaction cost. No government indifference and absence of collusion. So these are the features prevail in perfect competitive market. A firm is an equilibrium where MR equal to MC and MC curve cuts the MR curve from below. That means MC should be rising. Next, in the short run, firms may be earning normal profits, supernormal profits, or even making losses at the equilibrium price. In the long run, all the supernormal profits, losses are wiped away with the entry and exit of new firms. So we can say that in a perfectly competitive market, in the long run, all the firms are getting a normal profit only. In the long run, in perfect competition, the market mechanism leads to an optimal allocation of resources. The next is monopoly. So monopoly is an extreme form of imperfect competition with a single seller of the product which has no close substitutes, no close substitutes. So we do have close substitutes in case of monopoly. We do have substitutes in case of monopoly, but close substitutes are not present. Close substitutes are certainly not present. Close substitute are not present. Since the monopolist firm is the only producer of the product in the market, its demand curve is identical with the demand curve of the product. Third, since the monopoly has market power, it has the ability to charge a price above marginal cost and earns a positive economic profit. Next, the fundamental cause of monopoly is barriers to entry. In effect, other firms cannot enter the market. In the long run, its supernormal profit will be continued because the entry is restricted. So new firms can't enter to the market. In the long run, the entry is restricted. One of the important features of monopoly is price discrimination, that is, charging different prices for the same product for the different buyers. So a monopolist generally charge different prices to different buyer. So price discrimination is possible. Price charged will be higher in the market where demand is less elastic. So the monopolist feel that if he increases the prices, still there would be very less effect on the demand or no effect on the demand. He will increase the prices and lower in case where the market is more elastic. Under the first degree price discrimination, the monopolist separates the market into each individual consumer and charges them the price they are willing and able to pay and thereby extract the entire consumer surplus. Under the second degree of price discrimination, different prices are charged for different quantities sold. Under the third degree of price discrimination, price varies by attributes such as location or by consumer segments. So if the location of the market changes, the price also varies or changes. In the absence of competition, the need not to produce at the optimum level prevails. Since monopolies are exploitative in nature and generate undesirable outcomes in the economy, a number of steps are taken by the government to regulate and to prevent the formation of monopoly. In real life, pure monopolies are not common because monopolies are either regulated or prohibited altogether. Let us continue and see the imperfect competition now. So imperfect competition is an important category where the individual firm exercises control over the price to a smaller or larger degree depending upon the degree of imperfection present. We'll begin with the monopolistic competition. It refers to a market situation where many producers produce goods which are close substitutes of each other, one another. The essential features of monopolistic competition is to existence of large number of firms, product differentiation, non-price competition, high selling cost, freedom of entry, and exit of firms. In monopolistic competition, the features of monopoly and perfect competition are partially present. So monopolistic competition, the features of we have monopoly and partial features of perfect competition. So if we combine the features of monopoly and perfect competition, we'll get a market that is monopolistic competition. The next is demand curve is highly elastic in case of monopolistic competition and firm enjoys some control over the price. Not full control but some control. Firms in monopolistic competition are not of optimum size and there exists excess capacity with each firm. Let us shift to the another form of market and that is oligopoly market. Oligopolistic competition. What is oligopoly? So it is referred as competition among the few. As a few big firms produce and compete in this market and that is why this market is known as oligopoly market. There are different types of oligopoly like pure oligopoly and differentiated oligopoly, open oligopoly and closed oligopoly, collusive oligopoly, and competitive oligopoly. Partial and full oligopoly, syndicated and organized oligopoly is also there. So these are the different types of oligopoly. Then we have the main characteristics of oligopoly are strategic interdependence, importance of advertising, and the main characteristics of oligopoly are strategic interdependence, importance of advertising, and selling cost, group behavior. So different oligopolies setting give to different optimal strategies and diverse outcomes. Price leadership can be by dominant firms, a low cost firm, or it can be barometric price leadership. The next, a group of firms that explicitly agree, that is collude, to coordinate their activities is called a cartel. Paul A. Sweezy propounded the kinked demand curve model of oligopoly. The price will be kept unchanged for a long period of time due to the fear of retaliation, and price tend to be sticky and inflexible. Other important forms are duopoly, monopsony, oligopsony, and bilateral monopoly. I believe you must have understood till here. Let us continue with multiple choice questions. The first question is, in the table below, what will be the equilibrium market price? What will be the equilibrium market price in the table below? The price is given over here, rupee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The demand tons per annum is given over here, and supply, where demand and supply at the price where demand equals to supply, and that price will be known as the equilibrium market price. So as you can see, at 4 rupee, the demand and supply is equal with each other, that is 700 rupees, 700 units. So the answer would be C, that is rupee 4. 1C4. Question number 2. Assume when the price is rupee 20, the quantity demanded is 9 units. When price is rupee 19, the quantity demanded is 10 units. Based on the information, what will be the marginal revenue, that is MR, resulting from an increase in output from 9 units to 10 units? So over here at 9 unit, the price is 20, the quantity is 9. So total revenue would be P multiplied by Q, that is 20 multiplied by 9 equals to 180. Over here the price is 19, the quantity is 10 units. So total revenue would be price multiplied by quantity, that is 19 multiplied by 10 equal to 190. So marginal revenue at nth unit equal to TRN minus TRN minus 1. So this would be 190 minus 180 equal to 10. The answer is C. Second C. Let's see question number 3 now. Assume that when price is 20 rupees, the quantity demanded is 15 rupees. When price is 18 rupees, the quantity demanded is 16 rupees. Based on this information, what is the marginal revenue resulting from the increase in output from 15 units to 16 units? Okay. So total revenue when the quantity is 15, P into Q, price is 20, quantity is 15, so total revenue is 300. Total revenue when the quantity is 16, the price is 18, this would be 288, so the difference is 12. C. The answer is 3C. Let's see question number 4 now. Suppose a firm is producing a level of output such as marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost. What should be the firm do to maximize its profits? A. The firm should not do anything. B. The firm should hire less labor. C. The firm should increase price. Or D. The firm should increase the output. This would be D. The firm should increase the output. Question 5. Marginal revenue is equal to A. The change in price divided by change in output. B. The change in quantity divided by change in the price. Or C. The change in P into Q due to 1 unit of change in the output. Or D. Price, but only if the firm is a price searcher. Marginal revenue is equal to the change, that is P multiplied by Q due to 1 unit of output. 1 unit of output, that is a marginal change. I believe you understood till here. Let us see question number 6. Suppose that the sole proprietorship is earning total revenue of 1 lakh and is incurring explicit cost of 75,000. If the owner could work for another company for 30,000 a year, he could conclude that A. The firm is incurring an economic loss. B. Implicit cost is 25,000. C. The total economic cost is 1 lakh. Or D. The individual is earning an economic profit of 25,000. Over here in this question, if you could just see, this is an explicit cost, this is an implicit cost. So if I talk about explicit cost and implicit cost, the cost is 1,05,000, but the firm is only earning a revenue of 1 lakh. That means what? A. The firm is incurring economic losses of 5,000. I believe it is clear. Let us see question number 7. Which of the following is not an essential condition for pure competition? Large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, C. Freedom of entry, D. Absence of transport cost. Absence of transport cost, D. Seven D. Absence of transport cost. Question number 8. What is the shape of demand curve faced by a firm under perfect competition? Horizontal demand curve, vertical demand curve, positively sloped demand curve, or negatively sloped demand curve? It is perfect competition, so it is horizontal demand curve. Horizontal demand curve towards x-axis. Question 9. When the first order condition of the profit of the firm be maximum, which of the first order condition for the profit of the firm be maximum? Average cost equal to marginal revenue, marginal cost equal to marginal revenue, marginal revenue equal to average cost, and average cost equal to average revenue. So over here it would be MR equal to MC. MR equal to MC, MC should be rising. So this is the first condition, MR equal to MC. Question number 10. Which of the following is not a characteristics of price taker? A. Total revenue equal to P multiplied by Q. B. AR equal to price. C. Negatively sloped demand curve. Or D. Marginal revenue equal to price. So over here it would be C. Negatively sloped demand curve. This is not a characteristics of a price taker. Negatively sloped demand curve, because price taker, the perfect competition firm is a price taker, and over here the demand curve is horizontal. They have a horizontal demand curve. Question number 11. Which of the following statements is false? A. Economic cost include opportunity cost of the resources owned by the firm. B. Accounting cost include only explicit cost. C. Economic profit will always be less than accounting profit if resources owned and used by the firm have an opportunity cost. Or D. According to accounting, profit is equal to total revenue minus implicit cost. So D is false. So the answer is D. 11D. Let us see question number 12 now. With a given supply curve, a decrease in demand causes A. An overall decrease in price but an increase in equilibrium quantity. B. An overall increase in price but a decrease in equilibrium quantity. C. An overall decrease in price and a decrease in equilibrium quantity. Or D. No change in overall price but a reduction in equilibrium quantity. So it would be C. An overall decrease in price and decrease in equilibrium quantity. 13. It is assumed in economic theory that A. Decision making within the firm is usually undertaken by managers but never by the owners. B. The ultimate goal of the firm is to maximize profit regardless of the size and type of business organization. C. As the firm's size increases, so do its goals. Or D. The basic decision making unit of a firm is its owners. So obviously it's B. The ultimate goal of a firm is to maximize profit regardless of the firm size or type of business organization. Question 14. Assume that consumers' income and number of sellers in the market for good A both decreases. Based upon this information, we conclude with certainty that the equilibrium A. Price will increase, B. Price will decrease, C. Quantity will increase, or D. Quantity will increase. Assume that consumers' income and the number of sellers in the market for good A both decreases. Income also decreases and the number of sellers also decreases. Based on the information, we conclude that D. Quantity will decrease. I believe you understood. 15. If supply increases in a greater proportion than demand, the new equilibrium price and quantity will be greater than the original equilibrium price and quantity. B. The new equilibrium price will be greater than the original equilibrium price, but equilibrium quantity will be higher. C. The new equilibrium price and quantity will be lower than the original equilibrium price and quantity. Or D. The new equilibrium price will be lower than the original equilibrium and new equilibrium quantity will be higher. So it would be D. The new equilibrium price will be lower. Why? Because the supply increases in greater proportion to demand, so price will be low. So price will be lower and the original equilibrium and the new equilibrium quantity will be higher. Next, 16th, assume that in a market for goods Z, there is a simultaneous increase in demand and the quantity supplied. The result will be A. An increase in the equilibrium price and quantity, a decrease in the equilibrium price and quantity, an increase in the equilibrium quantity and uncertain effect of equilibrium price, or D. A decrease in equilibrium price and increase in equilibrium quantity. So this would be C. An increase in equilibrium quantity and uncertain effect of equilibrium price. Assume that the market for goods Z, there is a simultaneous increase in demand and quantity supplied. The result will be in the equilibrium quantity increases and uncertain effect on the equilibrium price. Suppose, next 17, suppose the technology for producing personal computers improves and at the same time individual discovers that new users for personal computers so that there is greater utilization of personal computers. Which of the following will happen to equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. A. The price will increase and quantity cannot be determined. B. The price will decrease and the quantity cannot be determined. C. Quantity will increase and price can be determined. Quantity will decrease and price can determine. So over here, this would we see the quantity will increase obviously and price could be determined. Let's see question number 18 now. Which of the following is not a condition of perfect competition? A. Large number of firms. B. Perfect mobility of actors. C. Informative advertising to ensure that consumer have good information. Or D. Freedom of entry and exit and out of the market. So it would be C. Not a condition of perfect competition. Informative advertising to ensure that consumers have good information. Let's see question number 19 now. Which of the following is not a characteristics of perfectly competitive market? A. Large number of firms in the industry. B. Output of the firm are perfect substitutes for one another. C. Firm face downward sloping demand curve. Or D. Resources are very mobile. Not a characteristics. Not a characteristics. It would be C. Firm face downward sloping demand curve. Let's see question number 20. Which of the following is not a characteristics of monopolistic competition? A. Ease of entry into the industry. B. Product differentiation. C. A relatively large number of sellers. Or D. A homogeneous product. So it would be D. A homogeneous product because in monopolistic market the products are not homogeneous. Question 21. Monopoly may arise in a product market because A. A significant important resources for the production of the commodity is owned by a single firm. B. The government has given the firm patent right to produce the commodity. C. The cost of production and economies of scale makes production by a single producer more efficient. Or D. All of the above. So it would be D, all of the above. Everything is correct. Question 22. Oligopolistic industries are characterized by A few dominant firms and substantial buyers to entry. B. A few large firms and no entry barriers. C. A large number of small firms and no entry barriers. Or it's D. One dominant firm and low entry barriers. So it's A, that is a few dominant firms and substantial entry barriers in case of oligopolistic industry. Question 23. Price taking firms, that is firms that operate in perfectly competitive market, are said to be small relative to the market. Which of the following best describes this smallness? A. The individual firm must have fewer than 10 employees. B. The individual firm faces a downward sloping demand curve. C. The individual firm has assets which is less than 20 lakhs. Or D. The individual firm is unable to affect the market price through its output decision. So it's D. We cannot change the market price in accordance with the output decisions because the firm is a price taker and not a price maker. Question 24. For a price taking firm, marginal revenue is less than price. marginal revenue is equal to price, marginal revenue is greater than price, or the relationship between marginal revenue is price is indeterminate. It is B, MR equal to P. Marginal revenue is equal to price in case of price taking firms. Question 25. Monopolistic competition differs from perfect competition primarily because in monopolistic competition, firms can differentiate their product. B. In perfect competition, firms can differentiate their products. C. In monopolistic competition, entry into the industry is blocked. Or D. In monopolistic competition, there is a relatively few barriers to entry. Monopolistic competition differ from perfect competition primarily because in a monopolistic competition, firms can differentiate their product, and in perfect competition, the firm cannot differentiate product. The products are homogeneous in nature. Question 26. The long run equilibrium outcomes in monopolistic competition and perfect competition are similar because in both market structures, A. The efficient output level will be produced in the long run. B. Firms will be producing at minimum average cost. C. Firms will only earn a normal profit. D. Firms realize all economies of scale. So it is C. Firms will only earn a normal profit in the long run. Let's see question number 27. Which of the following is a distinguishing characteristics of oligopolies? A. Standardized product. B. The goal of profit maximization. C. The interdependence among firms. Or D. Downward sloping demand curve faced by the firms. So it is C. The interdependence among firms. This is the distinguishing characteristics of oligopoly because the firms are independent towards each other. They form a group. Question 28. In which form of market structure is the degree of control over the price of the product by the firm is very large? A. Monopoly. B. Imperfect competition. C. Oligopoly. Or D. Perfect competition. In which form of the market structure the degree of control over price the product by a firm is very large? Monopoly. It's obvious. The answer is A. 28A. Question number 29. Average revenue curve is also known as A. Profit curve. B. Demand curve. C. ACC, average cost curve. Or D. IC curve, that is indifference curve. So it is B. Demand curve. Average revenue curve is equal to demand curve. Question 30. Under which of the following forms of market structure does the firm has no control over price? No control over price. A. Monopoly. B. Monopolistic competition. C. Oligopoly. Or D. Perfect competition. It is perfect competition. Question 31. Discriminating monopoly implies that the monopolist charges different prices for his commodity. A. From different groups of customers. B. For different users. C. At different prices at different places. Or D. Any of the above. So it is D. Any of the above. All three are correct. So discriminating monopoly implies that the monopolist charge different price of the commodity for different uses, for different places, for different group of customer, for different income of the consumer, any of the above. Question 32. Price discrimination will be profitable only if the elasticity of demand in different sub-markets is A. Uniform, B. Different. C. Less. D. Zero. It would be B. Price discrimination will be profitable only if the elasticity of demand in the different sub-markets is different, so that we can transfer the product from one market to another market and we can earn more profit out of that. Question 33. In the context of oligopoly, the kinked demand curve hypothesis is designed to explain. This is kinked demand curve hypothesis. Demand to explain what? Price and output determination. B. Price rigidity. C. Price leadership. Or it is D. Collusion among rivals. It is B. Price rigidity. Question 34. The firm in a perfectly competitive market is a price taker. Is a price taker. This designation as a price taker is based on the assumption that A. The firm has some but not complete control over the product price. There are so many buyers and sellers in the market that any individual firm cannot affect the market. C. Each firm produces a homogeneous product. Or D. There is easy entry into and exit from the marketplace. It is B. There is so many buyers and sellers in the market that any individual firm cannot affect the market.